And welcome back. If everything goes correctly, I am still going to be experimenting with recording this system and playing a little bit more of Sid Meier's Meier. Now, this is one of those games where, strictly speaking, you can pretty much 100% it and complete all the content, and then just keep on playing. One of the unique things about the game is that, of course, your character can't actually die. The worst that happens to you is you just retire poor, which, of course, fairly sanitized version of pirates. But what are you going to expect? This is the guy who made Civilization, so we couldn't exactly have blood and gore everywhere. Alright, let's pick up on the adventures of Maniac Jack again, see where we left off. It looks like we got a few prospects of some things we can take down. Early on in the game is when you have the least gold, so you have to be a little bit more careful because you'll bankrupt. And a few bad moves can also end up getting your guys into a state where they're mutant. We're going to try and take down this English brigantine here. Looks like we do have them a little bit outgunned, but I don't think guns are going to be the deciding factor. Alright, let's see if that one... Alright, we should get a few hits off. Yeah, for all the effort they put into historical realism on this, the radius at which your ships can turn I've never found to be that realistic. Okay, I see they're pretty much just coming straight for me. Let's switch to chain shot, which is always useful for impairing mobility, provided I can get enough kickoff to, prevent them ramming. I've also always been of the opinion that chain shot's a bit tougher to aim. As much as I love it, which makes sense, there's a shorter range and you're using a different angle for it. But if you do it correctly, especially when you're being chased, then you can cut down your opponent's mobility, and eventually, when their sails are shredded, you can basically just start running circles around them. I think about one more full screen volley is probably going to take down the sails altogether, at which point pretty much anyone in the game will just automatically surrender to it. This is even if it's a ship of the line with 250 guys against your little Indian war canoe. As long as the sails are down, they assume they don't have a fighting. And we can see they run up the white flag of surrender there, so, yep, boom. Looks like we have obtained a pretty pile of gold. If I know anything about the British... Oh, we got some more sailors, too. Let's welcome them aboard. This means there's going to be a pirate hunter coming after us as soon as we exit the screen. Oh, that was surprising. No pirate hunter. But we do have a little smuggler here. Now, the difference between smugglers and a lot of other ships is that smugglers will almost always try to run on account of carrying the stolen goods. Now, this one's a little bit more gumption than the last ship. Gave them a good hit, though. It's like that old Skullduggery Pleasant book where he said half of the fight is fighting and the other half is making sure that you hit the guy more than he hits you. That's really kind of what the naval battles boil down to. Inflicting damage on your opponent without getting your own ship destroyed in the process. You can still win if you take a ton of damage. It just makes the next part a lot more difficult until you can sail to a port to repair. I will admit it's a little bit unrealistic that even if, for example, I just sank a British ship, I could then pull right up into a British port and get my ship repaired there. In real life, there's no way that, self-respecting ship worker would give repairs to a pirate, especially one who did so just within view of their city. But I guess that would have been too much trouble. Okay, we got quite a few men. 22 sailors have come aboard here. Yarg! Huh. I'm really kind of surprised by the lack of pirate. That being so... Yeah, they just, they fired a little stray cannonball. Dutch West Indiamen. Now these guys are like the orange candy of the sea. Really big, really slow. Yeah, I don't know what it is about the Dutch, but the flutes are arguably like even more cumbersome than the galleons. There's also one of the reasons you really got to be careful about playing as the Dutch in some time here. There's at least some games where you can start out with one of these ships, and it is not a good starting ship. Which is a shame, because most of the time I love playing this. Mainly because, you know, they got a nice color scheme, they don't have many bases, so you've got a whole number of enemies to choose from, and of course it's always nice to play as a Protestant nation. But no big surprise, the British are usually my favorite. Like they've already surrendered to us. And we are on a roll. We're just hitting kind of small targets right now. Huh. I'm really surprised they haven't sent more pirate hunters for us. You know, ideally, the more time you spend at sea raiding, in theory, the more money you make. Sure, you have to go to port eventually, but the idea is you don't want to be constantly having to dock for port for repairs, because that'll slow down your progress. Every time you go to a port, it skips forward a week, so apparently you have to take a minimum week short. Okay, yeah, totally screwed up now. I'm actually really kind of surprised that this brigantine thinks it's a good idea to pursue me at this, given that they have no guns and their sails are damaged, and we're about toe-to-toe as far as crew goes. That's surprisingly bold behavior for a smuggler. You'd think they would try running away. Yeah, they're about to keel over here. Boom! Yo ho ho! More plunder for Maniac Jack. Oh, we got a sailmaker. Not all the specialists are really that useful. There's like a degree of hierarchy, but sailmaker definitely has some nice effects, especially for longer voyages, because they do automatically repair your sails. Alright, let's just quickly take a look and see who is most likely to give me a promotion given all the pillaging I've been doing. And no big surprise, it looks like the Spanish have been pretty happy. As have the French. English have put a mark on my head, and I have no rank yet. That's right, the French totally stiffed me. Well, it's always weird when this happens, but since I started with the Lesser Antilles, I think we're going to go ahead and actually try to get Spanish. Now, this isn't a bad idea. Ugh, killing me not to take down that smuggler. Simply because if you have some rank with the Spanish, it gives you a little bit more leniency. And let's be honest, we all usually end up with a massive bounty. Oh man, so many smugglers, so many smugglers. Just get in, get the promotion. We are in San Juan. Now, fun fact, this is a little bit of an anachronism, because back in these days, the island itself would have been called San Juan. and the city would have been called Puerto Rico. For some reason, we reversed it that day. But then again, they are using San Juan, I believe, as a representative of this, basically, this whole island. Let's have a talk with the governor. My dear Maniac Jack, please come... Wait, why am I doing a Russian accent? Makes no sense. My dear Maniac Jack, please come. You may be interested to know that we are at war with the perfidious English, the slimy French, and the greedy Dutch. So you're at war with everyone. On the plus side, it makes it easier to get a promotion with you. I understand that you recently captured a Dutch brigantine and a Dutch West Indiaman. Excellent! The king will be pleased! Promotion, 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 promotion. Oh yeah! I'm now a captain. Okay, that's good. We got some rank here. Oh, and there's the governor's attractive daughter, who is not really willing to go out with me yet because I'm not a colonel. Fine. I wasn't going to go out with you anyways. I wasn't. Fine. And sometimes you can actually get 2 promotions in one go. I'm going to give it a try. I don't think I've quite done enough. Let's give it a go here. Oh, it looks like I did. Alright, I'm now a major. I don't get to meet the daughter again, though. That's just out of the question. Oh, but I do get an estate of 50 acres. So, fun fact, if you never divide the plunder at all in this game, then your personal wealth is going to list as 0, but you can get around it by having tons of land. That'll get your score up for the wealth point. Alright, going around the tavern here, let's take some men. Quite a little crew here. The barmaid has nothing to say. What a shame. Ooh, okay. I'm a little torn on this. The fiddle is a good thing to have, but he's asking a pretty steep price, and that's like half of our loot here. But it'll help keep the mutiny down, so yeah, we'll go with it. We have this British gentleman decorated on the... I assume this is a British gentleman. Decorated on the walls of a Spanish port. Alright, I'll take it. St. Martin, you see. The real beauty. Good to know. Got nothing to sell to the merchant. Talk to the shipwright. Ooh, copper plated. Okay, so yeah, we're basically right back to where we were gold-wise, but we've upgraded our ship and we've got ourselves a little fiddle. Okay, all bets off. I see any Spanish ships now, they're going down. But of course, there's no Spanish ships when I actually want to fight them. Oh! Fine, it's fine. I'm not going to run after it. This game is great for people who play people who have ADHD, because it's basically like, ooh, there's something shiny, let's go chase it and take all of its loot. Speaking of which, this is going to be a tough one, because these little ships actually give you a lot of trouble. Oh, and it's a pinnace. These guys are fast. Okay, I'm pretty much going to have to nail him on the broadside if I want to take him down. Otherwise, he can just outswim me. You know, provided that he uses parts. Alright, we got a hit. I gotta go ahead and hit him again. Okay, we might actually take this one down. Boom. Yard, take that. Okay. Ooh, that one actually hit me. Alright, let's just take out their guns and try not to destroy the... Ow! That's kind of the problem here, is that it sometimes gets way too easy to accidentally destroy the ship you were trying to leave. Well, shucks. Yeah, this game definitely has a preferred direction for sailing. And getting back as a